So some of you are also keen to understand the topic-wise strategy of every topic. So I'll take you through history, then Meeta ma'am will take you through other things. Okay, before that, before I start with history, again a quick survey with all of you. Which book do you think is sufficient for history? Okay, people are saying Bipin Chandra, people are saying Spectrum, Modern Indian History. Then people are saying NCRT. Okay, okay. Class 8, Modern India. Okay, fine. Again, guys, today we are sitting here to break some misconceptions. And somebody is writing Human Peritus study material. Of course, we'll try to do our best. Okay, so guys, you know, for history, what I did, I looked at every question that appeared in 2016 to find out its source. And you know what happened with me? You know, guys, what happened? How many questions came from NCRT books? And you know, I didn't consider NCRT books till class 10th. No, I considered up to class 12. And then let us see. This was from this book. Then this from some book, Ishita Banerjee, Bipin Chandra, again Bipin Chandra, then this some other book, then Placid to Partition, and then Ishita Banerjee, this was, then Kripal Singh, then Bipin Chandra, then Placid to Partition, and then Women in Modern India. Yeah, 2-3 questions came from this book. I don't know if some of you even heard of this book. Okay, and now 2-3 quick things, guys, just to break some misconception. Number one, there was only one question from NCRT books out of 15 questions. Only one question out of 15 which was from NCRT books. But do you know, guys, in class 12 there are 3 NCRT books, right? In class 12 there are 3 NCRT books. One is Ancient India, then one is Medieval India, and then third book is Modern India. So there are 3 books in class 12 NCERT. So if your syllabus is Indian freedom struggle, which is clearly given by UPSC, guys, what will you study out of these 3 books? Come on, guys, what will you study? You will study third one, right? But this only one question, the only one question which is there in front of you right now, this was from NCRT book, but this was not given in Modern India. This question has been given, this content, this information has been given in Medieval India. So I'm sure, and nobody will study Medieval India, right? And of course, you are not required to do that. Okay. Now another question which I'll show you. You know, I think some of us have really undermined this exam. Okay. So now this is a question. So I'll tell you what is happening. The answer of this question is Pandita Ramabai was the name of person. So now in NCRT book, I don't know, 8th or 9th, there is a mention of Pandita Ramabai, but they haven't written anywhere that the lady founded Arya Mahila Samaj. Similarly, there was another question actually, which I wanted to. Yeah. So similarly, yeah, for Begum Rokeya, there is a nice photograph in class 10th book, I think, of history, but there is no mention of her works. We just know that there was somebody Begum Rokeya after reading NCRT. So guys, let me make a now make a claim with a lot of responsibility. If somebody would have studied NCRT book in year 2016, only NCRT book, he would not have done even a single question correct. Second thing, if somebody would have read only Bipin Chandra, he would have done not more than 3-4 questions correct out of 15 questions. If you so these are the, so if you want to like list of all the sources, this is the complete list. Bipin Chandra, Banerjee Dubey, then Placid to Partition, some book, Women in Modern India, 3 questions came from this book. Then NCRT, class 8, class 9, class 12. That is not only this. Old NCRT. So you don't have to. So I think these will be around maybe 10 books. Correct? So now there are 2 options. Number 1, read these 10 books. Number 2, follow everything which we are giving you. Go through every content, go through every question, every line. Please do not undermine anything in the content. I have done this analysis for history only, detailed one, but I think I have made my point. Okay, so can we move on to the next one? Yeah, I think Meeta man is there. Meeta, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm just starting the labor laws and will take you through industrial relations, labor welfare, some of the points which I want you to consider and reconsider while going through the syllabus plus online question bank plus and for those who are taking online classes from the Human Peritus. So what is there we need to emphasize on? We will have a look on that, right? So in all, we have basically in booklet you will find that there are 20 to 21 labor laws. Why we have given only these 21 labor laws? Because of our detailed analysis. We have gone through each and every labor law, but what we understood from our analysis that the students need to focus on these only 20 labor laws. There are 19 labor laws. The list is just in front of you. Along with that, there is one code on wages. This is also an act nowadays, right? And because code on wages has now surpassed 4 of the previous labor acts, that is Payment of Wages Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Bonus Act, Equal Remuneration Act, it does not mean that we will not we don't have to do the previous acts. We have to do simultaneously both the things, right? Code on wages along with previous acts. Along with that, we need to emphasize on the comparative analysis of what is there, what are the new things which have been incorporated in the code on wages, right? And why it has been incorporated. Then our next question revolves around that whether we need to focus on the rules which are the part of the acts. No, we just need to focus on each and every line which has been given a very simpler version of the provisions of acts have been provided in the study material. That is sufficient enough to cover your entire syllabus for cracking this exam, right? You don't have to emphasize on the rules except few of them which have been provided in the study material, that is ESI Act and standing orders, right? And focus on the latest amendments. What is the latest year of the amendment and what was the latest amendment calls for, right? What does it include? That should be your focus area for all the labor laws. With respect to industrial relations, all the chronological sequence has to be learned by you. There is no short route, there is no escaping out of it. And along with that, all all leaders which have been associated, the names of which have been associated with the IR events, you need to learn them by heart. There is no escape rule. And besides theories of labor welfare, every theory in industrial relations and then trade unionism theories all are very, very important as far as your exam is concerned. And more important, you need to emphasize on understanding of the basic concepts lying behind these theories, right? Because they shuffle up between the theories and then they will ask you the twisted questions. They might not be asking you the direct questions. And in question bank of Human Peritus, we have covered almost 3,000 questions on IR, labor welfare, and labor acts. What we think is that we just want to make our students confident enough to face any variant of the question. which might be there in the paper, right? So that is sufficient for your practice.
Okay, guys. So these 3,000 questions which Mita ma'am is discussing about, these 3,000 questions. I mean, just make sure that you go through every line in the explanation. This is so valuable, and you know, chances are very high. Chances are very high that you'll find all questions covered in these 3,000 questions. They are so important. Again, going through booklets not sufficient. You have to go through these questions, guys. There's no second thought about that. Okay, so quantitative aptitude. So this is a syllabus which we have worked. And guys, how did we come at this syllabus? UPSC guys only wrote quantitative aptitude and general mental ability. Then how did we make our decision that which is not part of syllabus? We have done based on analysis of number of recruitment exams with UPSC keep doing, guys. Lot of analysis has gone. After that only we have arrived that we'll be doing these topics only as far as quantitative aptitude is concerned. Next thing, the level of difficulty of quantitative aptitude is not high. These are easy questions. You just have to understand the question. So what are we trying to say, guys? Do not start doing these questions now as if you are preparing for MBA entrance exam, CAT or those tougher exams. No, the difficulty level is not very high. Questions are easy. Stick to the basics. Stick to the basics. Do not worry about, you know, sometimes whenever you will study quantitative aptitude, people will try to impress you with faster calculation, Vedic maths and all those things. Do not worry about all these things. Stick to the basics. Stick to the basics. You will hardly find a difficult question in any UPSC recruitment exam on quantitative aptitude. Questions are generally easy. You just have to understand the basics. Of course, now the definition of easy may be different. That obviously you can figure out. Take any class 8, class 9th maths book, and you can, if you are not able to solve simple time, speed and distance question, if you are not even aware that the formula of simple interest is principal into rate into time by 100, if you do not know how to calculate average speed, then of course they are not easy. Then it's a difficult. But if you are comfortable with this level, then it's a very easy section. And you should target in such a way that not even a single question is incorrect from this section. Okay, guys. So we'll start with next one now, Indian economy.
Good evening, guys.
Yeah.
So when we talk regarding the subject of Indian economy, okay, now we study regarding the different concepts that are like, you can recall that we have monetary policy, we have the foreign exchange rates and all. Okay, now basically we study regarding these concepts independently in different chapters. Okay, so the monetary policy is in a different chapter as compared to the inflation rates and all. Okay, now just basically understand this, that a standalone understanding, that is what I'm saying, that a mere understanding of these concepts, guys, is not at all sufficient. Now why? Because questions that are asked in the paper are basically application based questions. Okay, the application of these concepts, how these concepts are related to each other. So you have to basically emphasize on that, right? So let me give you an example that, see, if repo rate increases, what will happen to the inflation? Okay, whether there will be inflation or whether there will be deflation. Okay, so if you do not practice such types of questions, you will not be able to solve the questions in the paper. Because see, guys, a deeper understanding is very much required. Fine. Now coming to the next thing is that see, the Indian economy subject is a dynamic subject. You are well aware of this. Okay. So better be well versed with the recent changes that are taking place. Okay. So let me give you an example that in monetary policy, we study regarding the various instruments that are there. Okay, we have studied regarding the CLR, we have studied regarding the SLR, the CRR, and the SLR, and etc. Okay, recently in March itself, a new instrument was introduced. Now, what is the name of that instrument? It is LTRO. So it is long-term repo operations. So this was introduced. This is a new monetary policy instrument. So basically, guys, what I'm trying to tell you over here is that you need to be updated with such recent changes. Now, talking regarding our question bank, guys, as sir has already emphasized enough. Now, how do you get a good command over all of these application based questions that I'm talking about? Okay, how do you get a good command over these? You have to practice from the questions on our online question bank. Okay, so we have basically provided a detailed explanation regarding all of the questions out there. So guys, I'm repeating myself over here. If you do not practice these questions, you will not be able to ace the exams for sure. Okay, so
guys.
going to the question bank is a must. Fine.
And Megha ma'am is making really important point here. See, there is a different chapter on inflation, right? There is a different chapter on maybe monetary policy, right? There are different chapters, correct, in our content. But examiner is not going to ask you what is monetary policy or what is. So how inflation changes with the change in interest rate or monetary policy? That you will understand only when you will do the questions. This is another example of why question bank is becoming more and more important. Okay, next one. Yeah, so we'll start next subject, computer knowledge.
Hi everyone. Guys, when we checked out the paper, as you can see, the questions are basic, like basic questions. They haven't asked anything very deep. All they've asked are abbreviations, basic functioning of a computer, hardware, software, the technologies, and memory space. This does not mean that they cannot ask you further than this. It's just that you need to be very clear about your basic concepts. You need to sit down, pick up your book, and start reading through it. You have all studied about these concepts. It's just that you need to learn them again. Most of you would have forgotten how much is a megabyte, how much is a terabyte. You need to remember all of these things. You can read them once, go on the online test platform, and we have given comprehensive information in it. And there are a few more concepts. There are concepts like SQLite or email, mail merge. Then you have different types of networks, different types of malwares. Those are the concepts from which they can ask you questions. All right. Imagine getting a question about an email and you would have thought that it's an easy topic. No, you need to understand what are the different functioning of it. You need to understand the different shortcuts, different features of Microsoft. Then go for abbreviation. Start reading about digital divide. You'll find every single thing in your books and you'll find all the questions on your test platform.
Okay, guys. Next topic. Let us take about Indian policy. So Varun, just hold on, guys. Just give us 10 minutes more. Then we will be done. Then we'll take up your questions only. That is the next thing which we'll do. So for Indian polity, one thing: stick to the constitution. I mean, do not worry too much about detailed interpretation or court cases or judgments of the different articles. Just stick to the basics. Look for exceptions. Then okay, nothing more from polity side. we have covered it very well. And okay, so guys, next thing is general science. Okay, so this is one question which came in 2006 in general science. Very easy. Yeah, very easy, right? Okay, class 9 general science. Okay, now look at this question, guys. Which of the following material is not dimagnetic? Do you know this question is in class 11th physics? In class 10th, you do not even know what diamagnetic is. And knowing that out of all these elements, which one is no diamagnetic at STP? It's a even specific case. You won't find it anywhere. We have done our research. This has been given in a table in class 11th physics book. I'll show you another question. And there are so many of them. Bioremediation has been given in class 12th biology book. It's given in class 12th biology book. So guys, what has to be done? Till class 10th, everything. Till class 10th, everything. But class 11th, 12th also you have to study with the selective study. Now, what is meaning of selective study, guys? Focus more on the application of different concepts. Okay, let me give you some example actually, but you have to help me with that. What is the chemical formula of plaster of Paris? I think it's CaSO4 half water, right? I don't know. I think something close to that. Okay, it's something close to that. I'm not very sure. So guys, now they are not going to ask you how Ca is bonded with SO, S single bond, double bond, O, and all those things. But you should be knowing that this is plaster of Paris. This is a formula of plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is used in XYZ, and so you have to do selective study. But class 11, 12 NCERT are equally important. Of course, we are doing a lot of hard work for you, and we should be able to cover everything in our online question bank and in our booklets. But this analysis is just to give you this perception, and you just go, because there's such a big world to give you gyan. You search on Quora preparation tips for EPFO. You go on YouTube, 20 videos will come up, and everybody will tell you the same thing. NCERT class 10, NCERT class 10, NCERT class 10. But guys, questions are not coming. What do we do? Okay, so yeah, there is another misconception which we have seen is that because some of you are civil services aspirant, you mix general science with science and tech. These are two different things, guys. Do not mix general science with science and tech, which you study for civil services. Just stick to NCERT, but till class 12. Okay, current affairs, anyway, nothing much to tell. Focus more on factual. In civil services, you also have to understand more into issues so that you can write detailed answer. Here you do not need that. Our plan is to cover current affair from September 19 to till whenever exams will happen, and focus more on factual matters: who is doing what, who is winning which tournament, who is getting which prize, different schemes. A lot of current affairs we have already covered in Indian economy book also. If you look at carefully, the name of book is Indian Economy and Development. So whatever is under development schemes and all those things, they are your current affairs only. But still, we'll giving a lot of content on current affairs as well. Okay. Next thing, stick to India-related issues only. There's no need to. I mean, of course, global issues where India is related. If India is doing a joint naval exercise with China, no, not with China anymore, with Australia, then it's important to understand name of that joint military exercise or naval exercise or whatever. Okay, so second last topic, general English.
Hello everybody, my name is Priyanka, and I'll just give you a brief about the general English and what exactly they ask in the exam. So we studied a lot of UPSC recruitment exams to come up with the types of questions that they actually ask in these exams. So we found that there are 9 types of questions from which they ask English questions. And in the last 2016 exam, they asked 20 questions from English, and but they only used 4 types of these questions. But still, we need to study all these 9 types because we don't know from in the next exam they'll ask about which. Okay, so in the when we teach you during the class, we'll exactly tell you what exactly you have to study in each type of question. But before that, it's very important that you have a very good understanding of the basic grammar of English, right? And I would really suggest that just immediately start reading newspapers, books, magazines, anything in English that's there to give you a good command over English, because that's very important. Because in English, there is no definite syllabus or no definite book that from where they will ask you the question. You really need to have vast, vocabulary to answer the questions in English, right? So vocabulary is important, basic grammar is important to answer these questions, and you really, really need to study English magazines, novels, newspapers. Just start reading that. And how to answer each question, even when you don't know the answer, we will tell you exactly how to answer those type of questions when we take the class. Okay, so this is all about the English. It's fun because if you have a good knowledge about English, good hold on your English language, whether it's spoken or it's written or reading even, you'll be able to answer these questions pretty easily. So that's all from my side, sir.
Yeah, and guys, for again these types, again we have put them together by analyzing a lot of different papers. So we'll come to the last topic and then we'll take up questions. Yeah, for accounting.
Hi, good evening, everyone. This is Parth. And for your preparation strategy regarding accounting principles, first you need to understand what exactly is this phrase accounting principle, right? Starting from this phrase itself, your accounting principle, see, when you're starting a journey in accounting, you need to focus on the very basic concepts, right? To name a few, all of you must have heard about ledgers or journal entries, right? But to start with the journals and your ledger entries, what do you need to understand? You need to understand what exactly are the rules. What exactly is a debit and what exactly is a credit, right? So start at the 11th and 12th, the very basics of accounting, right? And after doing a detailed analysis and mapping of your EPFO examination questions, we were able to confirm that only the basics are not able to score 100% marks, right? It's not able to ace the subject of accounting. So we move on to the graduation level, the accounting that is being taught at the graduation level. But the questions were even superseding those concepts. So we looked at some professional accounting bodies, right? Some professional accounting sources. And we were able to identify that from those courses, some questions are being asked. So what exactly do you need to cover? The first point is to solidify your basics. Make weekly goals. See, accounting, it's a very vast subject, right? Don't try to gulp it down at once. Don't try to mug up the subjects. In accounting, a mere reading to understand how exactly is what a debit and a credit, it's not enough, right? A mere reading would not help you. You need to read that concept, understand it, and see how exactly is it practically applied when you're doing the practical journal entries and ledgers, right? So that exactly is accounting. Once you're done with your content, like I said, make weekly goals. Focus on the first 2 chapters in the first week, right? In the next week, be consistent. Cover the next 2 chapters. Don't leave it for the next week. Make weekly goals. Break your syllabus down into chapter parts, right? And you'll be able to understand the concepts, get the deep understanding, and make practical learning. Reading the concepts is not itself enough, right? So move on to the question bank, like it's been reiterated time and again. Practice the question banks. You'll be able to retain your concepts with clarity. Once you have the concept clarity, move on to the higher level chapters in your accounting that require more professional knowledge, right? So this should be your preparation plan, a step-by-step progress. All right, guys. So to sum it up, your booklet will once again, it will have a weightage of around 20 to 30%. The remaining 40% of your preparation will be done from your question bank. And what about the remaining 40%? This is about 60 to 70%, right? That is your practical learning in your live classes. What if you're not able to understand the debit and the credit for the people who have no background in accounting? That is where you need help, correct? So that is what you need to focus on to make a good progress with this subject as well. This will be it from my side.